he wants the gold medal for sure. And right now, Jagger Eaton is straight into it. Going with the backside 180. This is how skateboard big air is going to go down. There's 8 athletes. We've changed to 2 sections. Both count for 50% each. The gap by itself is a 24-minute jam session, which is going on right now. And then we are going to have the best run, and that will count for 50%. Tony, what do you think about this format?
I think it's good. It's similar. Whoa! It's a little kind of Rubia going for a kick flip. Was that a roast beef 360? I think so. It's a good format. It gives them the chance to do sort of a best trick, going over the gap, and then also a full run. And they changed the format from Brazil to not do a best trick on the quarter pipe because they felt like that added too much of a dangerous element. People going for quarter pipe tricks maybe be pushing their limits a little too much. And I think it's a good idea.
Edgar is in now into the gap section. Backside 360. It's only 50% that counts with the gap. And these guys, once they land their tricks, they're going to want to try and get something under their belt as well, just to get used to the quarter pipe.
Well, you don't really have a choice. You're kind of hauling ass with the quarter pipe, so you're going to have to hit it regardless.
Coming out of the box, look at him. Tony, he's going to be one to watch, isn't he, the little man?
Already. Yep, that was 720 over the gap.
Let's check out a replay on that.
Now, that's not going to count for as much because he's over the smaller of the 2 gaps, but a 720 is still something to be reckoned with.
It's got to
and there's another also 720 by Mitchie. Back at ya.
A couple of the younger competitors in the field for skateboard big air. Mitchie Brusco, he has had an amazing weekend already, making the podium for Vert.
And if you notice there, his foot came off as he launched off the ramp. He actually adjusted and fixed it while he was spinning in the air, which is pretty amazing to have that much forethought.
Just rolling in right now is Mr. Jake Brown, starting off with a backflip. These guys are not mucking around by any means. Jakey, coming out of Sydney, Australia. Here he rolls in.
Wow, you know things are crazy when that's your safety.
Over the big gap, straight into it, Jake Brown. Jakey has also smelt gold before. Whoa! Elliot Sloan.
Elliot Sloan with the tail grab, 720. Oh, overturning it just a bit. And that's real dangerous right there if you start sliding out, overturning backside because you end up on your back. There goes Bob with his new trick. The frontside 720, that would have been the one he wanted. That would have been the one he would have been working towards. And now he's made it on the first go right here. Here it is, that lean air, rodeo 720.
The Brazilian Bob Burnquist in Foz do Iguaçu walked away with the gold medal.
Largely due to that trick right there.
And here he comes straight out of the blocks. First run and into it. Jagger Eaton.
Whoa, Jagger Eaton with a backside 180. Not quite making it across the flat. I don't think they're going to count that.
He looks pretty happy anyway. He's out there with the big boys.
He does. He looks happy, but I don't. Yeah, that's. They counted it. That counts.
Okay. Interesting to see. I wonder how far.
Well, I don't think he wanted to hit the quarter pipe, so he intentionally fell, but the judges may not know that. I think that clearly the judges are.
Oh, wow. Kickflip backside 360 starfish. Bob Burnquist sitting in the #1 position. Mitchie Brusco in #2. Equal at this stage. Burnquist is on 47.1. As we said, it was the trick that it took him a long time to get in Brazil last
Yeah, it was the one he was going for, and now he's got it first run. Whoa, another 720. Top shot. Kind of overshooting the landing there.
He looks a lot more confident this time. He was going off, obviously, the big kicker. Yeah. He did it before off the smaller one.
And guess what? That's what Mitchie's going to do, and he's got it.
He has got it. He must be confident at the moment. Obviously,
he's a tit for tat here.
Straight on his heels, Mitchie Brusco.
Boom, 720, kind of getting sideways with it, and look at that adjust. And then solid, ready for the quarter pipe.
Mitchie is the youngest competitor to win a medal in the vert ramp, which was only yesterday. Prior to that, it was Shaun White. Jake Brown.
Jake Brown's going for the Ollie 720 again.
Now, he looked like he had his feet on that the whole time. In Brazil, we saw, obviously it was outdoors, so there was a wind factor. How does that play, and does it obviously help these guys being inside?
It should help because it's more predictable that way. You know, sometimes it will help them, the wind will help them by accident if they're coming up short. It gives them a little boost, but I think they'd much rather have it consistent like this with nothing left to worry about.
Elliot Sloan, no.
Tail grab 720.
He's happy with that.
That's going to be one of the highest scoring right there. Look at that, grabbing it, and then I love the way that Elliot points his front leg to aim it, and just on that last turn, almost overturning right there, but pulls it through. That puts him in second place in this event.
Is that because it's quite slippery coming down that as well? Or
It's
just
a little
because he's got
slippery,
so much momentum?
But I think he's kind of overcompensating right now.
In number one position. In number one position with a 47.1. This is his first trick from his first run, Bob Burnquist. Jake Brown already did that. He is stoked on that. It was off over the big gap also.
Big one, barely made it over the knuckle there. But super smooth landing with a backflip. Now that is the same trick that Jake Brown did, but I guess they like Jaggers better.
It looked like he was trying to go sailfish there, Tony.
It looks like he must have made that before, the way that he's trying it.
That would be one of the harder grabs to
Absolutely,
do.
yeah.
For sure,
when you're reaching behind your heels like that, it totally stops your spin. It's very hard to navigate, and it makes you blind because your shoulder blocks your view.
Whoa! And coming out of Brazil.
That looked like a heel flip body varial 360. You have to see replay it. Yeah, that's what that is. Heel flip, body varial 360. So his board is actually only doing a 180. And he's catching it halfway while heel flipping it.
Big Tom Sharp.
Tom overshooting the landing on the 720s.
We have 15 minutes on the clock. This is the first section that counts for 50%. The entire scores for the athletes out there. This is just over the gap.
Oh, Mitchie Brusco with a front foot impossible.
I've never seen him do that before out here.
I've seen him, what I thought was joke around with that, but it seems that the joke has become the quest.
Is that any surprise after seeing Mitchie Brusco on vert?
No. Last night, the sort of wish tricks became reality.
And that was some of the tricks that you've done also in contests.
Yeah, but ones that I only made once. Whoa, Jake going for the Ollie 720. Landing way lower than he did in Brazil, which makes it much harder to keep it on his feet and to adjust for the bank on the way in. right there. So he want to be on the wall by now, but
Jake seems to be going into a bit of a flat spin there too. Is that to try and keep the board under his feet?
Yeah, but what he's doing is he's pumping too hard up the launch, and that's sending him too far down the landing. And that's a lot to think about when you're trying to figure out how to keep your board on your feet 2 times around.
Jake, he was just coming up the stairs, but Elliot Sloan is back here.
I've seen him practice it. It's some sort of heel flip, back flip, melon grab.
Let's see that
Hail Mary.
Slow-mo, so we can really try and understand it.
All right, it's a kick flip. I don't know. It's a kick flip. It's a back flip. It's a big party.
It is not a big score at all.
Now this is amazing right here. This would be a switch ollie 540.
Have we seen that in?
We have not seen that
before?
No.
Have you seen Bob try that at his ramp as well in Orange County?
I've only seen him try it here about 15 minutes ago before he started.
Jagger Eagle going for a backside kickflip.
It looked like he was going for a no grab there.
It did look like that indeed.
Jagger, even if he bails, he's got that. He gives the same victory pump.
Well, he's only had 1 X Games appearance. No medals, but there's a huge future for that little man.
Oh, there it is. Oh, so close.
Just coming off there. Penarubia needs to post a score in this. It is 50% of the entire backside kickflip stalefish 360. Edgar Piera unlucky not making that. At the moment, we have Bob Burnquist with 47.1 at skateboard big air. Tom Shah, he is a good little kid. Red Bull team buddy of mine, he is about to go right now. What did you think when you saw that 1080?
Oh, I'm super excited. You know, I saw a couple guys gunning for it, including Mitchie Brusco, so I knew it was going to happen sooner or later, but to see him make it, see it so clean.
Here he is, trying to get it over the bigger gap there. He already made the small gap.
We saw him do a 720 over the smaller gap, and we want to see him make one over the big one. This is just the gap section of the competition, though, so only the gap counts here.
Mitchie Brusco, not sure what he was going for there, Tony.
Not quite sure.
He gave up on the impossible, and he's on to something else now.
Gave up on the impossible. We could just end that sentence right there.
Jake Brown on screen. 2 gold medals under his belt. He's going to want to get this. Ollie 7. Rolls in.
Looks pretty good. He's landing so low. He's got to somehow slow down a little bit on his takeoff there.
When he's up the top, he seems to be pushing into it as well.
Yeah, I think that this ramp is a little bit faster than the one they were riding in Foz. And he needs to take that into consideration because that landing is going to be too low to keep your feet on that whole time.
Elliot Sloan, coming out of New York City, was...
He got stuck there in the 540.
Had trouble coming around on that. Looked like he was holding his hip a little bit there too.
Yeah, that looked like he somehow kind of got stuck in a half spin, and it's hard to get out of that safely if you're not spinning completely what you planned.
Mr. Burnquist out of Brazil, sitting in the #1 position. That won't change anything for him at all. Just coming off that front flip. What?
That's such a cannonball right there.
It was so slow as well. How would that be, trying to do a front flip off that? Have you ever tried a front flip off that?
I've tried front flip off of just sort of launch boxes, but not leg grab like that. I have no idea.
Whoa! Little Jagger was going for a no grab with that backside kickflip. He kind of spun around with the momentum there and was going 360.
It looked like he was going to do a 360 there.
He doesn't care. He's waving to the crowd. He's got family here. This is the finals of skateboard.
That's it. He's got it. The kickflip, 360 stalefish.
Penarubia out of Brazil. It's not going to change anything for him. He is sitting in 8th position. Now with 8 minutes on the clock, Tony, who's down here do you think you can get bumped up right into those 1 or 2 positions?
Well, obviously, if Jake pulls the Ollie 720, that's going to put him in the top 3. For the, I believe it's a heel flip, body barrel 360, but that one didn't flip, so that'd be the no flip. And then he's just sort of grabbing his board and sticking it back on his feet.
There's so much time in the air. These guys can kind of grab the board from any position and kind of just throw it under.
Absolutely. There we go. There's a 7. Oh, Tom Shaw. He needs 720 over the bigger gap to push him up from 4th place right there. Mitchie Brusco pulled it, and that put him in 3rd so far.
Right on screen, 50 Cent is coming in with Tony Hawk and myself, so don't go anywhere. He's loving the skateboard video action. Mitchie Brusco. I never would have thought. I probably would have said that I was going to be in the box with Tony Hawk and 50 Cent. Calling skateboard big air in Barcelona.
I somehow always knew that it was going to happen.
You knew, didn't you?
Yeah. It was inevitable.
How do you predict these things all the time, Tony? I don't know how you do it.
Like, you know, things were coming together finally for us.
Jake Brown going for the 7, hasn't landed one yet.
Still too low. If we could just slow that launch down a little bit so he could land about, I don't know, 8 feet higher on the landing ramp.
Here it is.
He'd be right there. He'd make it.
Oh, the one in Brazil that he landed too, he kind of slid around a little bit.
Well, he landed very high on the landing ramp.
And he was on his toes as well doing that. Elliot Sloan
with the mystery flip, 540 rodeo heel flip body barrel.
Currently in 2nd position. It doesn't look like he's going to be getting Bob out of that number 1 position of 47.1. Bob hasn't landed anything since that either. So are we going to see the front flip again? Yes! He's sliding down on his tail there.
If all else fails, just drag your hands. Force yourself back up. I don't know if that would count though if you slide on your butt halfway down the landing.
I'd like to know that if it was.
It's kind of like snowboarding in the early 90s. Just do butt check and you made it. So you're good.
Little Jagger coming off that backside kickflip 360. He's just pumped to be here. He's in the mix. Only 1 X Games appearance before. And that was 12th position.
Italo needs to make something here. He's trying to do this kickflip stealth 360. I think that his plan was to come in with that and make it right away and then go to something harder, and that has been locking him up this whole time. He hasn't made one.
Tony, what would your strategy be now? Say if you Little Jagger saying what's up to the 50 Cent and his crew. He's like, I'm just happy to be here. I don't even care what I'm landing or not. Back to it, the strategy, would you just try and go out there and get something now? It is 50% of the whole score that you're going to get.
I think Italo, he's just going to obsess on that trick. Than Mitchie Brusco Brusco 720 because they were both on par.
There it is, lands clean. Coming out of that, claiming it before he's even got to the quarter pipe. So Tom at the moment is in 4th position with a 42.5.
Wow, look at that.
Gets bumped up.
2/10 of a point difference.
Beats
They
Mitchie
both did the
Brusco.
same trick. I don't know. One judge must have said, like, Tom's better.
Do you think he had more style doing it?
I don't think so. They looked very similar to me.
Jake Brown.
Here we go.
Oh, he's so close to it. He can smell it from there. So Brusco bumped down to 4th, but only by a little. Burnquist still sitting tough in that position. If it's going to get changed, it might have been Elliot Sloan, but having trouble with that one.
I'm still not going to guess what it is. I don't know.
Tony's sitting next to me, just arms folded, shaking his head like,
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is, so let's just keep rolling.
Looks like he jumped off a trampoline and started doing a skateboard.
Just not getting. Under 4 minutes left in the final of Skateboard Big Air here at X Games Barcelona. Bob Burnquist just not making that front flip for the 3rd time, unluckily, but he's going to get another go, so hopefully he can nail that and maybe bump up his score even more.
I don't think that's going to give him a better score. So I'm surprised that he's going for that trick in particular, because we have seen him do a front flip before. Whoa.
Little Jagger using those little legs to run around the flat bottom, smiling, having a great old time. Imagine if you were that
That's
age.
what it's all about. That's what everyone should be that happy right now.
It'd be great to see everyone skipping around the flat bottom like that.
You know, he keeps turning that last 180 so quickly that it actually it overspins him. If he just held it and allowed his body to flow, see right here, then he forces it around so fast that he doesn't have a chance for his body to catch up. And he blew up a microphone on the way down. It has to be worth some points.
Edgar out of Brazil.
Oh, there we go. That's it.
That's what he wanted.
This one. Heel flip, body varial, 360.
And he's loving that right now.
So clean, look at that. Just kicks it into the heel flip and then gets his feet perfectly in position.
Previously, he had trouble on the flip. They weren't flipping properly. He seemed to get it out properly then and really kick that foot out.
And that bumps him up into 6th place, which I'm a bit surprised. I thought that would have scored higher.
Bob Burnquist, Elliot Sloan.
Oh, Mitchie.
Tom Sharp, top 3 right now. Mitchie Brusco just got bumped out of 3rd by Tom Sharp. But I'm sure this is definitely not the end of him at all. Speaking of not the end of, it is.
Out.
Oh, he's so close. He's close.
I don't think Jake's going to get another go at it.
With the time that it is, 35 seconds on the clock. Elliot Sloan is about to drop in. X Games Barcelona.
Wow.
He was just grabbing that from anywhere and trying to get it under.
Pizza pie flip.
Right in for Globe shoes. Elliot Sloan. He's got to be happy with number 2 position going into the next round.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, I think that trying that trick was more of a bonus. than a quest. It was more like, yeah, maybe this will work, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't, because I've got a solid score. Tail grab 7. Same with Bob here. You know, doing this front flip, I really don't think it's work up a score, but it's a show. The crowd loves it.
I mean, he's sitting tight with 47.1 anyway, so he's just going to try and go for it. Here's the man you like, 50 Cent. It's Jagger Eaton.
Yeah,
Front foot, kind of like getting bumped off there a little bit. Do you think that's because he landed so high up?
I think his foot was already sliding forward as he was flipping, so it would take a perfect landing to keep his foot on. It was already too far over the nose as he was taking off.
It looks like he was hurt a little bit there, but I'm sure he's going to be fine. Backside 3, no grab at all. That is a solid run coming out of the gates for the second section. This is the final of the skateboard Big Air. Huge melon 540. For any of you who have just joined us, it's 8 athletes, 2 sections. We've already had the first section. It was the gap. It was 24-minute jam session. It's 50%. This is the second and final section. It is a full run. They've changed the rules since Foster Wiglaster in Brazil, Tony. Why do you think they did that?
I think it's more for safety. They didn't want to do the best trick on the quarterpipe because that encourages guys to do stuff after they've already done a full run, after they've done a best trick over the gap. And I gotta agree. I mean, the most dangerous stuff we've seen on these ramps is when something goes bad on the quarterpipe.
Have you ever skateboarded at all in your cycle?
I
want that quote.
That's good.
Tom Shaw almost pulled 900 there.
This is next level, though.
This is absolutely next level. Every event that happens here, it becomes next level because some new milestone trick happens, and it'll probably happen tonight too.
Talking of milestone, he did it yesterday in skateboard, and he's going to want to get on that podium again. It's Mitchie Brusco, just coming off a 540 there. There's been rumors of a couple of these guys trying a few different tricks. What have you heard out there, Tony?
I've heard that Tom wants a 1080. I've also heard that Mitchie might try a 1080.
Mitchie and Tom obviously Jack Brown, backflip.
Missing his foot there on the takeoff.
Jake never seems to bail on that backflip. He's got that one down, dialed.
It usually doesn't bail on the 540s either. But I'm glad he threw that one away because it looked like he was about to hang up.
We've seen Jakey unfortunately plumb the floor a couple of years ago. We didn't want to see that. Definitely don't want to see him on the top either. Huge tail grab 540. No. What a way to start. Elliot Sloan coming out of New York City. Let's take a look at that right now. Clean tail grab.
And right here, 20-foot tail grab 540. And the landing looked okay.
Burnquist, our leader here at Skateboard Big Air. He seemed like he was very close to the coping up the top there.
Yeah.
Just trying to kick it away so he didn't get caught.
Well, we've seen Bob make that trick and get close to the coping and end up coming out in a squat, but surviving it and making it and winning with it. So he's no stranger to that, but yeah, he definitely wasn't coming out of the coping. Didn't pop off enough. And right here, just threw it away.
That's what he wanted, little Jagger. Backflip. And then 540. Look, he's having fun.
He's happy to be here. And you see what he just did?
You saw him down there. He was high-fiving you before.
He can fly. He can fly, that's it.
He had a grin from ear to ear when he was down there with you guys.
He hurt his arm.
Yeah.
Got about it. When he got back to the top of the ramp.
Idolo with a judo 540.
Absolutely stoked. Let's check out the quarter pipe back. He was pumped. He was claiming it before he even got to the flat bottom.
And right here, the judo, he takes his front foot off, kicks it way off, and goes into a 540, and then clean landing.
That was very clean. Even his back foot stayed on the whole time.
Yeah.
Being that high, it must be so hard to be able to keep the board with you like that.
But you have plenty of time to put your foot back on, that's for sure.
That's the good thing about it. You're up there for a little while. That was the highest score so far in this section, 57.8. Only one guy to land a full run so far. But we have plenty of time on the clock. 18 minutes left in the second section. Tom Sharp, first man to land a 1080 on the skateboard.
900. Woo. 360 to 18-foot 900 at age 13.
The trick that you brought to X Games a few years back now.
Few.
I'm not mentioning.
Oh yeah, he watched you do that.
Mind you, 50 Cent, he wasn't even born at that stage. Tom wasn't born. But
you want to see another 900? This guy can do them too.
Mitchie Brusco. Unlucky there.
That puts Tom Shar in first place right now.
Tom Shar has got a 44.5 in 1.5 a second. 90 score overall. Bob Burnquist is down on a 68.3, but he needs to land a full run, so don't worry. Bob loves the pressure, doesn't he, of this stuff?
He does well. I don't know if he loves it, but he does well under it. Oh, wow. Squeezing that 720 at the last minute.
Being up that high, do you think you could ever roll in on that thing?
Yeah, no, actually, I think there's an art of calling. I speak properly, like, you know.
This might work. Good setup there, good landing too.
It's so hard coming in blind like that, right, off that trip?
Yeah, well, I mean, just an Indy 360 is super hard because you can't see landing, and this is a 540, so you're spinning, you got vertigo almost.
I've spoken to vert skaters before, and they find that trick so hard on a vert ramp, let alone doing it on that quarterpipe, that big. Little Jagger just sliding down on his bike.
Okay, I think he got an advantage being small. It makes you watch him like when he's. It's so intense because you know you watch him just take off like a little rocket.
Yeah, he's definitely going to fill out. He's got a lot of years ahead of him to fill out and get bigger. Especially
studying your tapes, Tony. Studying your tapes.
I love how he rides the same size board as everyone else too.
Right.
I mean, the thing with skateboarding is small, light. I mean, how tall are you, Tony?
6'3".
6'3".
Yeah, but I grew up as a runt, so I kind of had to adjust. And that's a lot of these guys. I mean, especially a guy like Jagger. That's what he's going to have to do. It's going to work to his advantage for sure.
Henry Rubio out of Brazil. 540. Coming off halfway through that.
He's at a disadvantage, though, because he did not score over the gap.
Didn't score over the gap in that.
So it doesn't really matter how well he does in this part of the event. It's not going to put him up in the standings. He's the only one that got a 0 in the first part.
Wow. And that's really going to be... I mean, it's 50% of that.
Whoa! These guys are so comfortable in the 20-foot range now.
And coming down, just like you said, like coming down and falling so easily, no problems at all.
Not at all.
He was so close to the coping.
Yeah, that was going to hang up.
We've seen guys like both heels, both ankles land on top of that.
Yes.
And I think I've seen them come down and end up in a wheelchair the next day at X Games LA.
Yeah, that's a bad day.
Here he is.
Now, he's doing a backside 180. That's pretty clean setup for a 1080. That's what he's trying to do now. He wants to do backside 180. He wants to land comfortably so that he's set up to do his signature 1080 spin. Mitchie needs a run here. This might be it. Looks good.
Safety one to get. If you call that a safety run. Here he is over the gap.
Indy 360. Now that, even for Mitchie's standard, that's kind of safe. You know, Indy 360 into Jake Brown's flat spots.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Sliding up on those ollie sevens. Here he is in the backflip.
Man.
And then landing clean and going straight into a huge McTwist. Where do you think this is going to take him now? Third place. There you go. What are we going to do?
This could bump him out, though. Elliot with the big tail grab 540. I think that's going to put Elliot in one of those positions. Look at this gigantic tail grab, 540. Okay, he's already claiming it before he got on the wall.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, that puts Elliot in the first place.
You can never. It's unbelievable. Elliot Sloan, Burnquist. Loves the pressure we were talking about. Having a little trouble there at the moment. It's pushed him right back to fifth, but we haven't seen Bob make a run yet. So overlooking one of the great big air ramps. We are excited to be here in Barcelona. Crowd is pumped. Little Jagger Eaton is going to start us off after the break. And he's there, look, just waving to each side of the crowd. He's cruising around, having no trouble at all, skipping. These guys, because they're so little, they need to wear pads basically over their whole body just in case they get bruised up.
Well, I think it's just a safety measure. I don't think it's because they're little. Anyone could choose to do that. In fact, you wouldn't know, but Bob has some hidden under his.
Right, I see. I mean, sometimes they're coming down pretty hard, as we've seen over the last couple of years. We have 11 minutes on the clock. What's it going to take? We're going to need to see Bob Burnquist here to try and get back-to-back gold medals. He's going to really have to throw something down.
Having a hard time with his quarterpipe tricks, almost hanging up on every attempt.
Currently in 7th position.
Here we go. Get ready for a 1080, everybody.
That's what he wanted. He wanted a clean landing off that backside. Oh, he just not getting enough speed there, do you think, Tony?
That one looked like he didn't spin fast enough. I've seen his 1080 spin, and it's usually a lot faster than that. So I don't know if it's a matter of speed. I think it's just more of a matter of takeoff.
At this stage, Mr. Bob Burnquist is not.
Look at this. Mitchie Brusco, he wants a 1080 as well.
Here we go.
There he goes. Stopping at 720. He wanted that first trick, kickflip Indy 180. I mean, that's something he was unsure of.
Really?
Yeah, and so to have made that and get ready for a 1080 was pretty exciting.
I mean, he's taking a chance already with that. The start, isn't it?
absolutely up.
Jake Brown going for the 7. No grab, styling out on the flat bottom there. Little smile on his face anyway, Jake. Definitely going to want to get a clean run under his belt. He's already got one. He's want to get something else. He's gonna have to lift it.
Eat up some time.
What do you think you'll have to do to try and break through? Elliot Sloan there having a little bit of fun with it. He is happy right now. He is there. What's he waiting for? He's waiting for the ramp. Jake Brown.
Guys get a little sweaty, and when they fall and they slide down the ramp, it gets wet.
Just coming off there. If Bob Burnquist medals tonight, he will tie the most medals ever with Dave Mirra, which is 24 medals. So he's going to want to make that podium. He's definitely going to want that gold medal. We know how hungry Bob is for it, but he's definitely going to want to just get on that podium to equal out the Dave Mirra.
But he's not playing it safe at all. The switchbacks on 180, and then this right here, Indy 720 for the favorites.
That's what he wanted, Bob Burnquist.
Cleanest one we've ever seen him do at X Games, right there.
Let's check it out right now.
Indy, let's see the 540, 720.
Look how far he landed up. Usually he plugs a lot more than that and lands further down the ramp.
Every time we've seen him make the X Games, he comes down in a squat position. That one was standing up.
There you have it, Tony. Bob Burnquist is where he likes to be, in #1 position with 46 for the full run. Overall score at 93.1. Elliott's is a 90.8. Tom Shah, 90 clean. What is going to happen from here? 7 minutes just over on the clock. Looking down at that, seemed like he was over the coping a little too much.
Right here, he's going for a very old 540. And then decided, well, I'll just throw it back under my feet, however it caught it.
Edgar, backside 360. The Brazilian, huge 540. It seemed like his legs kind of went from underneath him there.
Yeah, he landed a little bit higher than he expected to right there. And sent him into what we call Mr. Wilson. That's when you just shoot it back.
It's the first time we've seen Bob with a smile on his face, but right now on the flat bottom, it might be a little more serious than we thought. He did land up, and it seemed like his legs kind of gave way a little bit.
Yeah, he just couldn't really get into a squat from that position.
I mean, trying to squat out of something like that would be...
We've definitely seen Bob do it. There's only a few guys that really can do that, though.
Edgar, unfortunately, on the flatboard at the moment, started skating at the age of 16. His first contest 2 years later. Let's take another look at what happened just there.
Right there, he was kind of in the back seat.
He was, it seemed like a lot of his weight was on that back. There he goes. And
that's a lot of force straight into the flat.
He's an amazing skateboarder. In Brazil, he is definitely up there, killing it in Foz do Iguaçu in big air. The crowd gets behind him, a few deep breaths. He says, thanks very much for the support as he walks off. He's going to be a little sore. He's going to want to...
Yeah. You could tell, though, right when the medics came to him, he's like, I'm okay. I just need a moment. I am okay.
You can see the pain in his eyes and on his face. He's sitting in 7th position at the moment. Not real happy about it whatsoever. He's having a word to the ESPN crew and guys that we have there. See if he could possibly go on. That is a shot that we have right now of the St. George Palace as Tom Shah, currently in 3rd, rolls in. Backside, 180.
Here we go. 1080, it's gonna happen. Oh, so close.
He wants it, and that was close.
Here he is. He's got a little bit slower spin than usual, but still, he still has it in there.
What do you put that slower spin down to?
Because he's going higher than he's done before.
Right.
Here goes Mitchie, another 1080 attempt. Mitchie Brusco with his first 1080 ever made right there at X Games.
Tony Hawk, he is on fire this weekend. He made it as the youngest competitor in vert yesterday, and I'm sure this is going to change things in skateboard big air. Oh, shoulders back, proud. Tony back in his seat. I nearly had to grab him back there. Oh, I wouldn't have known what it was going to be like if we also had 50 Cent in the box with us as well. It would have been unbelievable. Mitchie on screen, just loving it.
There you go. He's the 3rd person ever to do a 1080. First one that we've ever seen at X Games. And that puts him in 2nd place. Into a McTwist. Oh, no! No!
Jakey is going to be devastated with that. Oh, no. The trick that he's been trying to get. The first time we've ever seen that done. There it is. We saw it done for the first time in Foz do Iguaçu in Brazil. Bob Burnquist just can't believe it. He had it there, and it would have really changed things in the score. Oh, these guys just get fired up each other. Look at them back to back.
Oh, Elliot Sloan, tail grab 900.
How big was that? He was going bigger than the last one.
That'd be 22 feet 6 inches.
All right, cool. There you go.
That's, I mean, I'm gonna estimate, but
okay, yeah, there you go.
In my professional opinion,
the guy that can smell the gold medal already. Burnquist. What has he got?
I have no idea.
I don't think he really knew what was up there as well. Just over 4 minutes on the clock.
Body varial.
Over the gap.
Frontside 360. I love the way he catches those.
He's cool. Jagger, he wants some too. Everyone's getting involved out here.
Jagger's having a hard time on the quarter pipe here.
So we have Bob Burnquist in number 1 at the moment, 93.1. Mitchie Brusco with the first 1080 in a competition here, 90.9. Elliot Sloan with 90.8. So close, these scores.
90.8, 90.9. Wow, that separates silver from bronze right
and then
now.
Tom Sharp with just a 90, so it is close. Sorry.
Italo
in there. Petarubia, unfortunately, not being able to stick. Solid run here. Only 1 X Games appearance for him. We saw this man here, unfortunately, go down before.
Right on his tail there.
Hey, he looks fine right now. Did he come down and hit his head just then? It looks... I mean, it's good. We've got a smile on the face. He doesn't seem to be hurting from the injury before. Right there, he seemed to be up over the coping.
It looked like his knee pad stuck when he landed.
Right.
When that happens, that throws you forward like that.
Tom Shard,
720.
Trying to switch up. What do you think he was going to go for after that, Tony? Obviously, Mitchie Brusco. This is silver medalist at the moment, going for a 7.
I think Mitchie was going to try a varial 900, which we have never seen. He gave me a hint about that last week.
Did he?
Yeah, and that would have been the time because he did everything he came here to do. He did a 1080. He did a 720 over the gap.
He is going to be one happy. Look at him with all his family there. It's his mum. He must be just so stoked this weekend. Unfortunately, Jake Brown coming off. We have 1 minute on the clock. Jakey is over it. Look at him throwing his board into the crowd. might be a little fight there. We see. Everyone's going to want that Jake Brown board. Jakey, the only Australian out there in the big air final, holding it down.
Foot mute 360. Here we go. Tail ground 900 attempt.
That was so close. We saw that in Brazil as well, remember? It was his last run, and his legs just gave way as soon as he hit the flat bottom.
We did see him make that at an event in South Africa. It's the first time ever. Oh, right there. It was on.
So close. Bob Burnquist would have been worried. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Bob Burnquist. This is a glory run. Bob Burnquist, back-to-back gold medals. Can anyone stop him?
That was a victory lap.
That doesn't matter. It was a victory lap. That is correct.
That puts Bob Burnquist tied for the most medals ever at X Games. And I can't even count how many wins he's had on the MegaRamp, on the big air.
So that equals out Bob Burnquist with Dave Mirra